So Ken Lawonn is CIO for Sharp Healthcare in San Diego. Ken and I became friends when he moved here. Um, Ken Lawonn is the CIO for Sharp Healthcare in San Diego. Ken and I became friends when he moved to Southern California to replace longtime CIO for Sharp, Bill Spooner, who was also on the show this fall during the Chime series that we did. So Ken and I decided to discuss an article that talked about these disruptive forces that are impacting healthcare, and they identified 8 disruptive forces, and Ken and I decided to go in depth on those. So coming in at number 6, here's a short soundbite from Ken Lawonn, CIO for Sharp Healthcare. The 3 more are millennials as consumers, Internet of Things, and non-traditional entrants into the market, such as Amazon, Berkshire,
I
JPM.
think we talked about that last one a bit, but
Yeah. So, what would you tell your peers about those last 3 things? Consumers, IoT, and non-traditional entrants.
well, I'd say, consumers kind of goes along with what we talked about on the retail side. They talked really about the millennials and they don't want to go through the traditional process. So I think you have to start thinking about, how do I serve a different kind of population? It's really about transforming what we've grown up as kind of an operational automation of points of care and removing the complexity internally, and we've shifted the complexity to our customers, and we really have to switch that model around and think about how do we take the complexity out of the interactions that we have with patients and consumers, and if we have to move a little complexity back inside, then how do we work on on automating and streamlining that. But you really have to shift your thinking as an organization from a what I'd call a process and operational driven company to a consumer or retail type company. And as part of that, the Internet of Things is all this information that can be collected and the patients are looking at on their own is what's the plan for incorporating that? How are you working with Apple or whoever to bring that data in to make it relevant to providers? So I think it causes us, for me, it's really shifting, and everything has to be thought of as more of a patient consumer focused thinking, not about how can I make this part of my operation more efficient, but how can I make that interaction? Because as you said, you don't want to lose the relationship.
Yeah, so the consumerization of healthcare came up an awful lot this year. It seems to be a trend that is not going away, and you have all these disruptive forces and companies coming in from the outside to try to impact healthcare. I think Ken really captured it well when he said, shift your thinking from a process and automation company to a consumer-based company.